Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
You are listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, whoa, dude, no! Oh!
Oh no, what happened?
Shalom.
Gesundheit.
Oh, thank you. Oh, hello.
Hello, welcome everyone to
Hello.
Moviesucktastic.
That's
Hello.
right. This week we are reviewing the Adam McKay film Vice.
Vice.
About Vice President Dick Cheney and, or we should say President Dick Cheney.
and the horrors that unfold.
Yeah.
Oof.
Now, this is a very political film. Adam McKay's previous film that he made in the same vein where it was political was The Big Short.
Well, not political as much as, I mean...
Well, it had to do with the government really fucking up.
No, not the government. The banks.
The banks. Well, which the government's helped. I mean, they bailed them out, and it was.
But it was less political and more of, I would say, contemporary, historical.
Yeah.
I don't know what we fucking call it.
Don't know. Fucked up. We'll call it that.
fucked up shit from the past decade.
Yeah.
Recent history. Current events, if you will.
Sure.
Yes. And the film is also shot in a similar fashion with his use of divergent and contradictory. I'm grasping at words here.
Okay.
Film style, in using it as a feature to teach the audience things they need to know to understand the film.
Right.
Much more prevalent in The Big Short. Less so to an extent here, but still done.
Right, exactly. And Adam McKay, he's not known for making movies like this. He is now, but before The Big Short, he doesn't do movies like this. That's just not what he does. Here's a quick resume of his movies. Step Brothers.
Now, we're talking as director?
As director, yeah.
Okay, so make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, you've got Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, 2 Will Ferrell movies right there. Then he does Step Brothers, which is another Will Ferrell film. Yes.
Sorry, just wanted to butt in to point out that Will Ferrell is a producer on this film, too.
Yes, and I like that. Not that I don't like Will Ferrell, but I like that he did not have a part in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
Because I think you get taken out of what this movie is supposed to be if you do that.
Yeah.
Because Will
Basically,
Ferrell was one of the most famous characters he ever did on Saturday Night Live was George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
So,
basically, this is the Anchorman director suddenly turned fuck ass serious.
Yeah, because after that he did Step Brothers, then he did The Other Guys. Like his first four movies have Will Ferrell in them.
Right now, the other guys though did kind of broach on the serious matter of this corruption in the financial sectors of the government.
Yes, that is true.
Especially if you make it to the end credits and watch, like they throw a bunch of stats up there, and actually some of my favorite lines from the other guys had to do with his satire pointed directly at the failure of the financial regulation in the country.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, after Anchorman 2, suddenly he just comes out with The Big Short.
He comes out with The Big Short in 2015, and he's like, you know what? This is what I'm doing now. And you know what? I'm happy because he's making some really good fucking movies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's announced that he's making a movie called Bad Blood, which is entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes creates a biotech company that skyrockets her to fame with an estimated value in the billions. When federal agencies begin investigating the company, her integrity is called into doubt. I guess this is it says biography drama. Elizabeth Holmes. Why does that not sound familiar?
I'm wondering if this is the one that I'm aware of. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, no, it's the Theranos. I thought it was the whole Theranos thing. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, now it's familiar.
They claim to have a revolutionary blood test that used very small amounts of blood to get these results.
Right.
And then basically they found out they were just flat out fucking lying about it.
And that's why the film was called Bad Blood.
Now that I actually work in the medical device industry, I've actually, when I see like this come up, I'm actually reading. I'm more interested in it now. It's like, oh, that's fucking interesting.
Here's an article from June that says she absolutely has sociopathic tendencies.
So does every CEO. Come on.
Oh my god.
Let's be fair. But yeah, the whole Theranos thing is just insane. It's like they just built this entire company on a blatant fucking lie.
Yeah.
So again, he's rapidly become. So this is what I would say an activist film producer.
And you know what? It was, and he had a heart attack after making Vice, and he. I
thought it was during.
Was it during or was it post?
I thought it was actually during because apparently, from what I read, Christian Bale had learned about heart attacks because of the character.
Yep.
And because he had that knowledge, he actually helped save Adam McKay. And then they actually used black and white footage of his stent implant in the film.
Oh, did they really?
That's what I read. I don't remember seeing it in there, but I read that after I saw the film, so I wasn't looking for it.
So the one thing I heard about how Christian Bale saved Adam McKay was, like you said, he did a lot of research about heart attacks. Well, because Dick Cheney has had so many heart attacks. So Christian Bale, he goes to the director, he goes, Adam McKay, he goes, well, how do you want me to play this heart attack? How do you want me to do it? And Adam McKay is like, well, what are you talking about? He goes, well, how do you want me to play this out? It could be done several different ways. And Adam McKay was like, really? Like, there's more than like just like one or two? He's like, yeah, there's a lot of ways you can have a heart attack. And I think it wasn't like, because they say like you get shooting pain up your left arm, you know, which brings me right back to my childhood watching Superman when his father is out in the field. He's like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
I forgot about that. He just mentioned it.
Yeah, so I always go to that scene because he's grabbing his left arm and he's like, oh no. But there's that, and Adam McKay kind of thought that was kind of it, and Christian Bale's like, no, you could have a heart attack this way and this way and this way and this way. And Adam McKay was having a heart attack one of the ways that Christian Bale described And that's how he knew. It's like, shit, I think I'm having a heart attack. Got himself to a hospital and then lived. So it was one of those things where it's like, had he not had those kind of conversations with Christian Bale, he wouldn't have known any of the warning signs and might have actually, or probably died.
Wow, it's probably the closest Dick Cheney's ever come to actually saving a life.
Yeah, oh, fuck.
Well, let's not get political. This is a movie review show.
That's right. That's right.
Now, I did read that Jared Kushner and Melania Trump went to see this film in the theater.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if it was like opening night or not, but I read that they actually walked out halfway through. And when I read that, I was like, wow, that makes perfect sense, because it's about halfway through the film where I realized what they were really trying. One of the things that Adam McKay was trying to say was that this is an example of how the system realized they could use a useful idiot president, George W. Bush, to just grab all power, and they're kind of signaling that that's what happened now with Trump, except they didn't realize until it was too late that Trump is less useful and much more idiot. And like that's like the flaw in the system. And I think that's what they realized. They really only just flash a couple of pictures of Trump when they're doing like montages of the time period. Right. And they only show him from like the 80s, the Trump. It's like very quick flashes. There's no direct references to him, but like at a certain point you pick up, oh yeah, this is definitely what they're kind of like they're telegraphing, is that and that's one of the reasons. I mean, like this film, I think the main reason it was nominated is the same reason that The Post was nominated, or the one that didn't deserve the win. Spotlight. Spotlight, right. Yeah. Like the same reason those were nominated, because they're very topical and very important political films. They have a message that they have a message about the past that is very relevant in the present. And I think that's one of the main reasons that this was nominated Best Picture. Just talking about picture.
Yeah, definitely.
I do like Adam McKay's film style, especially like compared to The Big Short. But honestly, I would say if you were asking me like to compare the two, I would definitely say that The Vice is the lesser of the two.
Yeah, I enjoyed this film, but I did enjoy The Big Short more.
I'm not even saying enjoy. I'm just saying as far as a technical standpoint, from a craft standpoint, I think The Big Short was a better film.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that.
Only just in saying we have two, you got to compare them. Vice is just below that one. That's all. I'm not saying it's not a good film. It's below that. Yeah. I loved the things that he did where you kind of all right, I'm going to say first. I'm going to ask you, the narrator.
Oh, right.
Okay.
That's what's his face?
From Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I always refer to him as Matt Damon with bee stings.
Matt Damon.
His name is Jesse Plemons.
I was at work just to show you how much like certain things just become like universal. Cubicles, but I'm at work and people are talking about stuff over the cubicles, and I said, oh yeah, Matt Damon, and there's someone one cubicle over, you just hear Matt Damon. I was like, oh, I'm not even gonna say anything because I know where it's from. It's fucking beautiful.
I still can't get an uncut version of that film.
I have one.
No,
I'm pretty sure I have one.
It's the DVD quality copy. It's not Blu-ray.
Oh, you want a Blu-ray copy?
Fuck
all right.
Yeah, why not? Why can't I get that movie uncut?
It's puppets. Why do you need a Blu-ray copy of it? It's fucking puppets.
Stop it. It's why do we need Blu-ray anything then?
No.
I want to see that puppet shit on the other puppet's chest, goddammit. That's what
You can see it. You just can't see it in 1080. I'm sorry.
I want to see it in 1080.
You don't need 1080.
Fuck it. I want to see it. I want to see it in 4K. How's that?
By the way, I am as of tonight, I am caught up on South Park right up until the last season.
Really? Wow.
We just finished season 20 tonight.
Jesus, that shit's been on for 20 years.
I know, right? And it took us like 4 months. No, it was like almost a year to to watch them all.
I tell you, that's the only reason why The Simpsons stays on, because they know when they go off, South Park will go for another 10 years and be the longest running show.
And I honestly, we only skipped 2 episodes, and I think they were both Towley episodes because I'm not a Towley fan.
Oh, okay.
And I'd already seen them before.
Well, I'll tell you what though, South Park is still now a good show, whereas The Simpsons, I could leave it.
I have not seen Simpsons.
I
haven't seen any Simpsons film shows made in the last 10 years. Straight up.
You haven't missed anything, because it hasn't reinvented itself. Whereas South Park, it's just always topical. It's always just breaking new ground.
And South Park did reinvent itself, because at a certain point they started doing, like, they started carrying on a story over the entire season.
Yeah.
And it's been interesting watching the show, because I watched that transformation happen, like, on a nightly basis. Like, wow, this is very interesting how suddenly they started off small. They carried a story between 2 episodes, and then they carried one between 3. It's like, wow, this is I was just watching it in motion over a short time period. Was very interesting. Anyway, Vice. No, what I wanted to ask you was, how far into the film did you know who the narrator was?
I knew immediately as soon as he appeared on the screen.
No, not the person speaking, who he was in the film.
Like his part, like what he.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who he is.
I got to be honest, because of how I watched it, probably not until about 5 minutes before it happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, the minute he said we're kind of family, I was like, bam, don't even bother.
When he said that, I was just like, wait a minute, what does he mean by that? And then I started to overthink it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let it be organic. I'll find out when I find out.
I was like, yeah, I know where this is going. Smug mode.
Well, he said we're kind of related. That's what he said.
Yeah, we're kind of family, is what I think how he put it specifically.
No, he said we're kind of related.
I thought he said we're kind of family.
Pretty sure he said related. Well, whatever.
Doesn't matter either way. But I'm right.
Yeah, just like recently. What was it? What happened recently? You said something, and Star is Born. I said, I think it came out in the 30s. And you're like, no, 1954. It's like, yeah, there was one in the 30s. God damn it.
I was wrong. Okay, I'll admit it. Now, but again, he does those kind of things where they do cutaways and they kind of play on they telegraph to you that we know this is like a movie, just like they did in The Big Short, and that they take like the whole Shakespeare scene. I loved that.
Oh right, yeah.
And the fake ending. Holly was with me, but she was kind of half watching. Oh. And she fell for it. She looked up. It's like, is the movie over already? It's like, no, you're not paying attention.
When they did the fake ending, I'm like, oh man, that's where it should have ended, but no. God damn it, no.
And that's what I love too. Is like, there's the whole thing of like, this is all fucking Bush's fault.
Yeah, because he's a moron.
Just hammer it down. It's just.
I always felt that Bush wasn't a terrible person, just a terrible president. And when you see movies like this where it really hammers that home, it's like, shit.
Yeah. Oh, and again, I think that's got to be the reason. Or maybe Jared and Melania left because they fell for that fake credit scene. I didn't think of that till just now. Maybe that was it. Oh, yeah. Janie, hey. They forgot about the whole vice presidency thing, and they just got up and left.
That would be so fucking great if that's actually what happened.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about this
that is
film,
about halfway through.
What's great about this film is that it is relevant because it is an obvious comparison to the Trump presidency.
Sure.
And it does draw those lines, and it does so without actually even it. I like where the one place where they actually do make that comparison like flat out is the ending, the post initial end credit sequence.
Right.
When they go back to the room where they're asking people, what's it with the not polling, the test focus
groups.
I'm almost done with my second bottle of wine, so I apologize for the delays there. But that last scene of the film, which is right after that first section of opening credits, like nails it and dismisses it at the same time. It's fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's I bet you voted for Hillary.
Oh God, I was on a job site the other day, and there were two people just talking about Trump and his wall, and it was just like, Jesus Christ, are we really are we doing this now? It's like I'm trying to get work done here, and and then I was in the room that I was in. There was someone that obviously is opposed to them talking about that. She's like, "Oh my God, they just sound so stupid," and she wasn't wrong. Just because a lot of what they were talking about came out of a fucking meme. It's like it's where we are right now.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about a film like Vice without getting topical, especially because of that. And again, I feel this is one of the reasons why it was nominated for Best Picture, not in spite of it being not a great film, but just because. I think one of the aspects of an important film or a great film is a film that delivers several messages at once. I mean, this is a film that's covering a certain aspect of history, but like I said, at the same time, conveying its importance to the current. I think that's one area where I thought Spotlight kind of like failed, is that it was about an important part of history, but I felt like it's like, yeah, we've been through all this though, and we know it, and there's no surprise here. If you say pedophile priest, everyone shrugs. This isn't like topical anymore. The Post was kind of because of the battling between the current White House cabal and the media itself, and the battling between the media and the government, and comparing that to Nixon with the media, that was topical both back then and today. It was just with the Post though, it was just a little boring.
Right.
But I think the Vice falls in that category. The only reason it makes it into the Best Picture nomination is because it is so important of a film, at least in the standpoint of what it's saying and what it's covering and what the implications are.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
Yeah, that's me in a bottle and a half of wine. Fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all.
I can get it out. Yeah, I may forget a word here and there, but the basis is there.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie,
and actually,
I would say this film had a more complicated plot than the last film we reviewed, which was The Favorite. It's not hard to follow, but there is a lot of moving parts.
And there's less lesbian sex.
There is a little. No, there isn't.
No, there's not any.
No, there isn't at all.
Don't build up hope like that.
No, I'm not.
Someone watching this film, the second end credits roll, like, wait, no, well, they promised me. They promised me Sappho love. No.
They did play on the fact that his daughter is lesbian. And
well, not play on the fact, they brought it up.
They brought it up. Well, it's important because of his political stance, and so I
loved how this film showed the evolution of Cheney from a man you kind of respect on certain levels to just the whole heart surgery sequence.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen the film. This is a film that really, I think, it's not necessarily subtle. I think you'd have to be a fairly, I don't want to be mean, inexperienced in film to not get the message they were conveying at that point.
Right.
But that whole heart transplant sequence really hammers home the message of, and I knew they were going for that when they had that thing at the funeral of his wife's mother.
Oh,
when he confronts the father, and I was like, yeah, they're setting this up for the twist.
Yeah.
And when I say twist, I mean the character arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I don't think this blew the lid off anything. Obviously, it didn't, but it really puts some things in perspective. It does. It makes you think a little bit more about the things that took place.
Did you think that? I think the actor's name. What's his name? Shea Wiggum. Yeah, Shea Wiggum. He played her father.
Oh,
He didn't look much older than anybody. They didn't even try and make him look old. I think Shea Wiggum. I think he's a great actor. I like him a lot. I liked him ever since I saw him in Boardwalk Empire. But it's like, man, he looks younger than Christian Bale does.
okay. I haven't watched. I haven't watched Boardwalk Empire, so I need something else to connect him to.
Oh, he was in Sicario. He played the guy that was okay.
I saw Sicario. Who was he in the Sicario?
The second film. He was a guy that was selling the weapons to what's his face.
Oh yeah, I can't remember that part. Okay.
He had a small part in True Detective.
Oh, he was in Kong Skull Island. I don't remember him from that.
Oh yeah, he was the general. He was one of the generals.
I only saw it once, so I mean. Look at it. Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle. I don't remember the secondary characters too much. Savages, I haven't seen yet. I've seen films I recognize, but I haven't watched or I don't remember that much of. Damn.
Let me tell you something.
He's been in a lot of stuff I've seen, but he's just not sticking out to me.
If anyone is like hearing me talk under my breath, it's just because I got the hockey game on in the background and.
Oh, dude, really?
I know. I can't contain myself because they wear these fucking retro jerseys on certain nights and they lose every fucking time they put them on. It just drives me out of my fucking mind. Anyway, sorry. Game's over. At least what? At least I don't have to watch it after the show. I fucking can be disappointed now. Anyway.
He was in the TV show Fargo. I vaguely recognize him from that.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's been in plenty of stuff, but yeah, he didn't look much older. He actually looked quite young, to be completely honest. It's just like Amy Adams. It's like, yeah, she actually looked older than him.
But you know what? They really don't show him like up close. They really show him from a distance.
They show him in the one flashback scene.
But even then, but it's quick. It's you get a bit flashbacks. Okay, he's supposed to be younger in those.
Well, yeah, no. I'm saying that's where you only really get to see him, is in the flashback. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
he sells it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, I'm on board totally.
Now this film, I mean, it's up for Best Picture. Obviously, we talked about.
Oh yeah, let's see what it's up
Sam
for.
Rockwell is up for Best Actor,
which
not gonna get it.
No, he's not going to get it. He won last year, but
yeah. I
still don't get why he's nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Honestly,
his performance is good, but it's like, is it really Oscar worthy?
I hate to say it, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm sure they could have found somebody else better. I mean, he's pretending to be George W. Bush. Yeah, you just act stupid. How fucking hard is that? I mean, he had the prosthetic nose on. I mean, all right.
Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, I'm sure that somebody else from any of the other films that we've watched so far, like for instance, here, let's take a look at the other Best Pictures.
Now hold on. Supporting actress is also up. Amy Adams, honestly, great. I don't see anything special with her performance. I don't be mean. Just nothing stellar.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way.
It's also up for cinematography. No, it's not.
Here you go.
It's up for directing. Not going to get it.
You know who should have been nominated for Best Supporting over Sam Rockwell? And that's, what's his face? John David Washington from BlacKkKlansman.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that Definitely. Right there. Absolutely. Sam Rockwell out, him in, and that would have been yeah, absolutely. Sam Rockwell.
Okay, it's also...
No, not really.
Now, it's also for Best Film Editing. That's a maybe.
Yeah, no, they did. That's listen. The only film that shouldn't be in the editing category is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right. and it's also up for best original screenplay again. As much as I like it, I don't see it in the running for best screenplay.
No, I kind of feel that the favorite is going to get that.
I was about to say, it's up against the favorite. That alone, ignoring the other three, because we haven't touched on them, just that against the favorite, I give it to the favorite. And I like both films.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't see this film getting many actual...
it walks away with makeup and hairstyling. I mean, it's a technical...
Is it up for that?
Yeah, it's a technical... Yeah, because of Christian Bale. It's a technical... I mean, actually, there's a lot of people that have makeup on them.
Oh, shit, I didn't highlight that.
To make them look old, like Steve Carell as Rumsfeld, Tyler Perry as Colin Powell.
And they've only got 3 in that category, Border and Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh, really?
So I agree with you. Yeah,
oh, yeah. There's no way it's not winning Best Makeup.
I think it's a very good nominee for that. I did not have it highlighted on my list.
Yeah, just on Christian Bale as Dick Cheney alone, it wins.
Yeah,
but there's plenty of people in full prosthetic makeup. I mean, like Sam Rockwell as Bush, Carell as Rumsfeld, Tyler Perry as Powell, Amy Adams as Lynn Cheney. I mean, that
was Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
I still don't really believe Tyler Perry exists. So that's mind blowing to me.
Yeah, you think Medea was going to show up? No, they did a side by side shot.
I believe Medea exists.
You do?
Tyler Perry, I'm not so sure.
I saw a side by side shot of Tyler Perry as Colin Powell and Colin Powell, and I'm like, wow, they fucking nailed it, because he looks like he looks a lot like fucking Colin Powell with all that makeup on. But
I still love my favorite. I every time I saw Colin Powell in this film, W, which I don't think was a very impressive film.
Oh, the Oliver Stone.
Yeah, and that's the one where Richard Dreyfuss played Cheney. I forget who played Colin Powell, but they have one scene where they're in like the war room or some other room, and Colin Powell like tells Cheney to go fuck himself. Like Cheney says something smart to me. He's like, "Fuck you, Cheney." That's still my favorite part of that whole film. So I mean, there's not much to tell story wise. This is obviously like it follows Cheney as a young man, and how his wife kind of turned his life around, and how he, being like a college dropout and a drunken, as the narrator says, today you'd pretty much call him a scumbag.
Douchebag.
And he gets into politics through the veteran thing, and really just and there's a part in the trailer that we don't see now.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of parts in the trailer you don't see. The one scene where he has no shirt on. Yeah, that's not in there. And what was the other one after Rumsfeld says to him, "Are you more ruthless than you used to be?" There's that shot of him going like where he's like grabbing his chin. You don't see that scene.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a decent director's cut of like maybe an additional 15 or 20 minutes they cut out for the film, because the film's an even 2 hours.
Actually, I think it went a hair over.
2 hours and 12. All right.
Yeah.
Compared to the other 3 hour fucking epics I'm forced to watch for the Oscars, that's 2 hours.
Actually, I don't think we've seen a movie longer than 2 hours and 20 minutes.
All right. Why are you nitpicking me on these?
Because
let me just make my broad statements.
Because
and be
you
happy.
said 3 hours. There's nothing anywhere near that.
I'm obviously exaggerating.
No, because there's always 3 hour epics until the last 3-4 years.
Right. Dude, I'm doing fucking upgrades until 9-10 o'clock at night, driving home, and then I'm like, I gotta watch an Oscar film before I go to bed. Fuck yeah, it's 3 hours. I'm done.
I'm sorry, but I'm not.
It's been a rough couple. Dude, upgrades the same month as the Oscars. I'm fucking dying here.
Well, then you know what? After next week, we're gonna take.
And the in-laws and the in-laws were here over the weekend, so I'm not watching Oscar films over the weekend.
Yeah, I know.
I'm watching the
did you
Avengers.
watch? Yeah, I saw that you were watching you watched a couple of movies off my Plex.
Were we?
Somebody did. And I was like, why
Which
Scott?
ones?
I don't remember, but it was like, why is Scott watching this?
Well, if it's an Oscar film, it's because I don't want to download it.
It wasn't an Oscar movie.
That was probably my in-laws.
That's what it was. I'm just saying. It's like, why is Scott watching this? Then I was like, oh, wait. He said his in-laws were over.
Yeah. Could be my parents, too. You never know. That's why I asked which film.
I don't know. Anyway.
If it's a Godzilla film, it's my parents. If it's a war film, it's probably the in-laws.
Yeah, it wasn't a war film.
No, hey, but dude, no complaints here. They wanted to watch the Avengers, and then what was after that? What did we watch after that? Shit, it's part of the Avengers series.
Oh, was it like Captain America? Like Civil War?
It was something like that. It wasn't Captain America though. But we watched one. It's like, yeah, let's watch that one. It's like, all right. It's like this beats the fuck out of watching the Final Destination. Not Final Destination, like the Final Countdown.
Oh,
like
God.
the time travel war film from
this one with Kirk
made
Douglas,
for TV.
right? Kirk Douglas,
yeah.
Like, oh god.
Yeah, that was the last time they stayed for any time. So this time I was like, oh fuck, Avengers, yeah, I'm in.
The Final Countdown. Jesus Christ! I think that came out in 1980. I think that was 1980.
Definitely.
Kirk Douglas. Now I'm gonna look it up. The Final Countdown.
Don't look it up.
I am gonna look it up. Final Countdown, 1980.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas. Damn.
I had that trepidation too. Like
sometimes.
I was, and what happened with that last time they stayed? It was like, oh, Scott can get that film for you, can't you, Scott? So yeah, I can get that for you, and I got it, and we're watching that. So I was like, this time they're here for the weekend, and I was like, all right, everybody's get bored, and it's like, oh yeah, can you get like this John Wayne war film from the 70s? Like, yeah, I can get that. Actually, my wife got him watching Breaking Bad.
Oh,
he's like, oh, I like this. He got into it. They watched the first 3 episodes. He's like, oh, this is great.
Fuck those fucking tweakers.
And then I walk in and like they're watching the Avengers. No, they were watching Iron Man 2. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And then after it finished, it was like, yeah, let's watch Avengers. Like, I'm okay with that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. It's like Black Panther. But I've expressed my main thing with Vice, which is that it's not as good as The Big Short.
Right.
It's an important film. It really hammers home the useful idiot aspect of the presidency being used to usurp power, like they thought they could do with Trump, but they didn't realize Trump was such a fucking wild card idiot, and that the film even addresses how it's such a polarizing subject, even talking about history at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I love about the ending too. It shows how polarizing it can be for two different political sides to discuss known, documented history. It's just everything's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Threads would be a happier film at this point.
Almost.
Almost.
Especially the ending.
Yeah. Now. On IMDb, Vice is currently 7.1.
7.1? Is it really that low? Yeah, it is that low.
Yes, it is.
Ooh. I almost kind of agree with that score.
You know what? Me too. I'm thinking, yeah. I mean, like honestly, after we reviewed The Favorite last episode,
yeah,
way back when,
yeah,
and yeah. like just. Comparing it to it, I like this film. I thought it's important in several aspects, but honestly, I think the fact that this film was by the same guy that made The Big Short even hurts this film a bit because it really feels like a lesser film.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be willing to go. You know what? And I want to know before we even rate this. I need to know The Big Short, what it currently shows on IMDb. I'm looking it up right now.
I bet it's higher. It's way higher.
7.8.
Yeah.
And we rated it at a 10.
We did like it that much. Wow.
We did.
I mean,
wow.
I really did enjoy that film. I don't remember.
I'm surprised we rated it a 10. I think because, again, it's that combination of a great film
Yeah.
and also having such a significant importance. And it was a great film. So what Oscar did that win? Was that wasn't Best Picture, was it?
No.
Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Vice has a good shot at winning Best Original Screenplay, although again, it's a contender with the favorite.
I think it goes to the favorite, but again, I think this year I'm not going to do well with my guesses. So,
I you know what? I'm with you. I think a 7 is fair for this film. It's
had he done, say, that Bad Blood movie first and separated this movie from The Big Short a little further, not that I'm saying we would have given it a different score, but had it been further removed, he went right from The Big Short to this, even though it's been like 3 years. It's still just his very next movie, and I think that comparison that you're talking about is very relevant.
It's and I hate to do it too, because it's like you're comparing. It's one of those things where, how it feels unfair, but I can't avoid it. I really feel a 7 for this film.
Yeah.
And I actually feel guilty saying it too, because I did like it.
Yeah.
But
is it an 8? That's the thing.
You know what?
Is it an 8?
I feel like it played it safe more than The Big Short did.
Yeah. And you know what? I think The Big Short, at least for me, I was way more passionate about the real estate collapse that happened. It just, because it more than anything affected me, because it's like, yeah, I'm never going to buy a house because these idiots, just because of what they did, which also, that real estate collapse was because of the Bush-Cheney administration. They helped that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because they gave the banks so much leeway to give anybody money.
And the deregulation that took place during that time period too, and we can go on.
The no-doc loans. I mean, just you can go on and on and on.
I do want to make a shameless plug at this point, and it's not even that shameless because it's still connected with us.
Okay.
As anybody who's been listening to the show for a while know, Joey and I started a side podcast for fun called "Strangers in a Strange Land."
Yes.
We kind of stopped doing it after the Bush, after Trump won, because it was just too hard.
Which I think. I know where you're going with your story, and I just want to interject very quickly. If we do decide to never do that podcast again, I'd like to get to an even 100 episodes and then stop doing
it. Yeah.
I just like the round number.
We were intending on we're starting up that podcast again, but I'm doing it with my father.
Right.
And we intended this to continue Strangers in a Strange Land, but we found that there was another podcast called Strangers in a Strange Land that had far more episodes. So we decided to change it to the weekly narrative, and we just did our 0 episode to test it out. And then after that, we found out, there's also a show called The Weekly Narrative, and it's some right-wing asshole. So it was like we had to change it again. But what I'm getting at is like I'm now doing a second podcast with my father. It's a father-son kind of thing, which is weird. I think. I don't know if there's a lot of father-son podcasts out there. I don't know. I don't know if that's a common thing or not. It might be unusual. And actually, I told somebody else that, it's a father-son, it's political. And they're like, oh, how's that going? I was like, oh, no, we actually agree with politics. This isn't like the cranky old Republican and the young Democrat. This is like, no, he's actually like involved in fucking political activism now, because of me. I'm to blame for that. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's now called Dissecting the Narrative. And episode 1 will be recorded this weekend. And after I watched Vice, I messaged my father. I was like, "You've got to watch this film before that episode," because I'm hoping that the 2 big things we talk about are this film and afterbirth abortions.
Oh, Jesus!
Because hey, it's in the news. It's not me. So because this film is so topical in modern day, that's what the roundabout way and plugging Dissecting the Narrative. Look it up on YouTube. Is that is that this film is so topical that, like, for a political podcast, a film, or a semi-political podcast, this really just raises so many discussions.
Yeah, for sure.
And I honestly think that's the only reason this makes Best Picture. And if you put down Best Picture to 5, I think this is one of the ones that gets cut. I really do.
You know what? It's nominated for Best Director. That's my theory, based on that alone, that this would be one of the final 5.
That's the old days, sir. The old days are gone.
No, I really do think that.
Okay, let's
Best
put it this way.
Director and picture still go together more often than not. This would be one of the final 5.
Let's say this: we guarantee, without a doubt,
Yeah.
Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody don't make a 5 Best Picture nomination.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So that means we're down to 1 between the 5, and we still have 2 to review.
Yeah.
Right. We still haven't reviewed Green Book and Roma. So if you take A Star is Born, The Favorite, Black Klansman, and Vice, and say one of those has to go, it's Vice. Not because it's bad, but because the other 3 are just stronger in different ways.
I'm thinking it's Black Klansman that's going to go.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think honestly, this year's final 5 are The Favorite, Vice, Star is Born, Green Book, and Roma, and those are all the Best Director nominees this year.
All right, everything I just said about Vice, about historical, about being topical today, about the direction being like innovative, you can say that for both of those films.
Okay.
If you hold Vice up against Black Klansman, and you have to make a choice, I feel like Vice drops. Just because you can only have 5. If you could only have 5 nominees, I think Black Klansman edges out Vice for very subtle reasons, and none of them are racial.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying this is not about racial politics. This isn't about we need a black film this is none of that. This is just based on craftsmanship, story, what it conveys, the importance of the story. I just think Black Klansman edges out. I mean, like, very slightly edges out Vice.
As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to change my stance. I'm going to agree with you now. No. It's partially because of what you said, but it's also partially because I was mistaken about the nominees for Best Director. Spike Lee is nominated for Black Klansman. I thought he was not. For whatever reason, I thought he was not nominated.
Yeah, we've already reviewed 3 of the 5 Best Directors. All we have left is Roma, and one that we don't have on our list, Cold War.
Which I do have. I do have it. It's nominated. It's nominated for Best Foreign Film.
I've got no interest in it, but
me neither. But I have it.
You know me. If I'm going to fill out a category besides Best Picture, it's going to be one of the screenplay categories.
Oh yeah, of course.
So the Cold War is probably not going to get my attention this month.
That's fine. But as far as foreign film, it's not even going to win Best Foreign Film. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to do very well this year. But there are a couple of things that I feel very strong about that will win. I think Roma is nominated for Best Picture. And they've always done this. Anytime a foreign film is nominated for Best Picture, it always loses Best Picture, but always wins
Best Foreign Film.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's going to happen with Roma. So you could pretty much just count on that happening.
And like I said before, like one thing I had never been really fully aware of until I started documenting or categorizing the films in my Plex was that in the past, before they set up certain rules, you had films that would win Best Foreign Film one year, and then the next year would win Best Picture because they came out in their native land one year, and they came to America the next year. So they were viable in both times. So you'd have these foreign films that would win both categories.
What was the last example of that?
I don't know the last example of that, but there were a couple of examples that I'm not prepared for. I didn't really mean to bring this up.
No,
it's your fault, really.
Well, how is it my fault?
It's because you started it. But I also remember that when Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon won.
Okay, Best Foreign.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
I think you're right. I think it did win Best Foreign.
I remember that year there was a lot of that whining about best picture and best foreign picture. You can't get it both. That's like shut the fuck up.
It won 4 Oscars.
That's why I like feel like a little edgy about doing political podcasts, because I really, after 2 years of the Trump thing, I like my whole political discourse is like just boiled down to shut the fuck up. and that's not good listening. So I don't know.
It was nominated for Best Picture and Best Foreign, and it won Best Foreign.
Right. But there were a lot of people complaining, saying, but how can it get nominated for both? Happened again.
This film really, The Matrix really brought back like the wire work in movies. But this
Crouching
film,
Tiger brought back the wire work.
Well, Matrix came out in '99, and it didn't have heavy wire work, but The Matrix did have wire work.
When did Crouching Tiger come out?
2000. So it was like it piggybacked it.
It's like almost the same year, practically.
Almost, but what I'm getting at is when The Matrix did it, people were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then Crouching Tiger came out, and it was like, "Fuck, now we're going to use this, like, we're going to saturate the movie industry with wire work."
Because Ang Lee was, "Fuck you, people. We've been doing this since the '60s. Yeah. What are you talking about?"
That's exactly. So.
And then he did the Incredible Hulk. God.
Ooh, yeah.
No, he did just the Hulk.
It was just called Hulk.
Hulk, yeah, the Hulk, I think.
No, it was Hulk.
It was just Hulk.
It was just
That's
Hulk.
Even worse.
I know, it's just
worst fucking movie.
I remember getting a work print for that.
That film was the only reason I knew who Eric Bana was at that point. It's like, oh.
What was that one movie he did in Australia? That he was like super famous for in Australia, but he wasn't known here yet. Chopper. It was called Chopper.
Chopper. I don't think I ever actually saw that either.
I don't think I have it on my Plex, even though I've seen it a few times. It's actually really fucking good.
I never saw it. No, yeah, Chopper. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to put that on my Plex right now.
And I will not watch it off yours.
Okay. Get to the chopper.
Because before the Hulk, or before Hulk, excuse me, Chopper was like the only other film he did before Chopper was The Castle, which I've seen.
Oh, I've never seen.
But I don't remember.
I've never even heard of that.
It's an Australian film about like a family who they're going to lose their home because of an airport being built nearby or something.
Oh.
So they fight City Hall. I saw it once, and it didn't really impact me back then. I don't know if I want to go back and revisit it. It's Australian cinema. It's always bizarre in a certain way.
Oh, sure.
But I saw it once, and I remember practically nothing about it. I'm getting too old. I'm actually starting to lose. Honestly, I probably forgot this film a month after I saw it. It wasn't very impressive. It's rated well, but it's an Australian film. I remember more about Welcome to Whoop Whoop.
Welcome to Whoop Whoop. Wow.
You never saw Welcome to Whoop Whoop?
No.
What?
I know.
You got to see Welcome to Whoop Whoop.
I mean, maybe I have. I just don't remember the time. I don't know.
You need to see. I don't even know if I have Welcome to Whoop Whoop on my Plex. It's not a very common film. Say no more.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've been keeping to our less than 45 minutes. Actually, we've been keeping less than like 30, 35 minutes until
we should shut the fuck up.
This episode. We're pushing an hour.
Okay, we should shut up then.
It's a political film. I kind of was expecting it, to be completely honest.
I do have Welcome to Whoop Whoop, so you can watch it off my Plex or steal it from me if you want it.
No, I'll do that.
I recommend it.
I'll get it off your Plex. All right, let's go ahead and end this shit. All right. This is episode 295 of Moviesucktastic. As always, thank you.
You know who
for joining
You know who
us.
the lead actor is in it?
Welcome to Whoop Whoop. No.
He's one of the guys from That Thing You Do. He's the one that quits. Like the smarmy one, the artistic one.
Yeah, I know who that is.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Go to our website at moviesucktastic.com and download our show there, listen to our show there, or tune in live every Thursday at 8 o'clock and hang out with us. You can go to our iTunes page at itunes.com And you can do a search for Moviesucktastic, and you can listen to or download the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic, and you can watch movie trailers when we go live. Anything that fancies us goes there. If you want to email us, the address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. Or if you want to leave us voicemail, it's 908-514-4470. If you send us voicemail or you send us an email, we will read it and or play it on the show, or both. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. I had to do that again. And you can download the app for your Android device. Everything I said is in there, and it's finally working again. So please go ahead and download that. You won't be disappointed. It's a really good app. I think you'll enjoy it. And do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, fuck. Man, it's been a long week. I should have something planned for that. But, I think I'm drawing a blank. There weren't really any big takeaway quotes from The Vice, and I don't want to say anything anti-Trump because that's just like,
No, there really wasn't.
That's like alienating half the
audience. You know what
for a
scene I did like?
fan.
It's very simple. It's just where he's flexing his hand. He goes, "I don't want to be a pain, but I think I gotta go to the hospital."
I
right
don't
now.
alarm anybody, but we need to go to the hospital now. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. You break it, you buy it. You break it, you buy it.
That was Colin Powell. That wasn't Cheney.
Yeah, right. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Wait, go.